Hey, what's up guys? It's Ohei with Gingaandgrowstrong, and I'm back with another tutorial. Today I want to talk about finding your own game. Now, some of y'all that have bought the pre-purchase of Ohei's Capoeira ground game system part 2, that is all about finding your own game. So yes, you're going to learn all these awesome moves and new advanced ground game moves. But there's also a private Facebook group where you participate in posting your own sequences, and there's also a part in the ground game system part 2 where you're learning more sequences and actually using that stuff, because you're just not collecting moves and regurgitating them. You're using them in the game, and that's what we want you to develop. Once you've gotten your fundamentals, that should be your focus. Learning how to use the moves, learning how to express yourself. Learning how to, use some of your flourishes in your game and make it make sense and intertwine them with takedowns or whatever. It's basically expression. So that is from the ground game system part 2. But I want to talk about how you're going to find your own game in general. Whether you're tricky, you're solid, you don't have much variação, which is basically your trickiness. And I want to read an excerpt from this book. This is The Ring of Liberation by J. Lowell Lewis. Now, I got this book about 8 years ago. I read half of it, never finished it. It's very an academic read. Okay, so the guy is like a PhD, but he did his studies. He's a capoeirista. He's trained in Brazil. He has a lot of experience, and his writing is very academic. So it's not at a casual level. It's not written at a casual level. So. But there's a very good excerpt, actually from the back cover, and it's taken from the forward, and the back cover is written by Robert Ferris Thompson. I don't know who that is, so who cares? So what it says is, J. Lowell Lewis explores the convergence of form and content in capoeira. He shows that in the struggle to catch their opponents off guard, capoeiristas repeatedly enact scenarios of dominance and submission, while ultimately building the comradeship necessary to master the game. In this creative tension, essential to capoeira, Lewis finds that capoeiristas express the conflicts, the liberating possibilities, and the ideals of freedom they discover within the constraints of their own lives. Now, wow, look at that. Express the conflicts, the liberating possibilities, and the ideals of the freedom they discover within the constraints of their own lives. Now, that's pretty much expression of yourself. Whatever's happening in your life, you're expressing that in the roda and in your game. Okay. So, what is a good way to find and explore your game? I recommend going to as many rodas as possible. Now, some of y'all have a group, and y'all get to experience that, and that's awesome. Growing, testing your moves, having a curriculum, or going through whatever. Even if you don't have a curriculum, learning from your master, learning from your professor, whoever it is. And being able to use that in a roda against your classmates and other people, higher ranked, lower ranked, better, more athletic, less athletic, and seeing what works and expressing yourself and having that that platform to do that. And that's experiencing the community of capoeira and the energy of capoeira, where you can find your game, where you can express yourself and be tricky, or be solid, or show off, or whatever happens to be your personality. But you have to explore that. So what I recommend is, yeah, sure, at one point in your stage, my mestrando Furacão used to say that most of the time that you go, as your development as a capoeirista, that you go through a phase of being a move collector. I'm a collector of moves. And that is a phase of when you're trying to get new moves and you're learning them one by one and you're hot on the trail and you're developing your fundamentals or your vocabulary of what you're going to be using. So, but right away, the best way to do it is to start trying to integrate that. Each new move, whether it's basic or whether it's intermediate or whether it's advanced, to start trying to use that and express. Many times we forget to do that in our own games. When we get solid going back to our own 1, 2, 3, esquiva, nega, chiva, hololé, that's what we know. But over time, and that's why it's the journey of capoeira and the evolution of your game and of your mindset, which is pretty awesome. Is what's important. So my recommendation for you to find your game is to go to different rodas. Go to your own rodas. And I'll make another video here about the exact etiquette. Some of y'all don't have a group. If you don't have a group and you train by yourself from YouTube and from books and from online training modules and things like that, training programs, then I recommend, I'm gonna make a video to teach you the correct etiquette, how to reach out to different masters in different groups, so you can do that safely and not be like come off as some attacker or something like that. So look for that video in the future. But I recommend that you go to rodas so that you can practice expressing yourself and using those moves that you've collected and integrate them into your game and how you live life and cope with the tensions of this life. And so eloquently put on the book, The Ring of Liberation. So as I wrap up this video, remember, you're going to be collecting moves, but immediately integrate those and express those, if you can, in the roda. Okay, that's how you learn, whether it's a training roda, or you have to go to someone else's roda, or you have an end of the month roda, or beginning of the month roda, end of the year roda, whatever happens, a batizado roda. Travel to batizados, these type of things, so that you can express your game and get better and learn how to use those moves that you've collected. Okay, so before I go, I'm gonna read the excerpt one more time so I can leave you with it. It's a very nice statement. Okay, he shows that in the struggle to catch their opponents off guard, capoeiristas repeatedly enact scenarios of dominance and submission, while simultaneously building the comradeship necessary to master the game. In this creative tension, essential to capoeira, Lewis finds that capoeiristas express the conflicts, the liberating possibilities, and the ideals of freedom they discover within the constraints of their own lives. Wow. Well, I'll leave you with that. Remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and Ginga and grow strong. Ashe. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ginga and grow strong.